Are going to I need to turn up my microphone probably. Okay. You need to tell me if you can hear me well. Okay. Okay, this one says, am I the a-hole for accidentally turning my daughter into a vampire? I, 45 male, am admittedly a bit of a misanthrope, but when I met my late wife Rose, it felt like fate. I was a newly turned creature of the night. She had an obsession with the macabre. We both needed children. She was perfect. I purposefully trained my dark powers so that I could one day turn her into a vampire as well. When she got sick, it seemed like the perfect timing. I could turn her, and she would have to deal with the earthly elements any she would not have to deal with earthly ailments any longer. However, when I tried to bite her, I realized I couldn't. She was pregnant. We hadn't been careful enough, it seemed. I had no choice but to wait for the disease to take its course and hope there was enough time for after the baby's birth to turn her. It was not to be. Rose succumbed to her illness immediately after the baby's birth. I would have I would have dumped the whelp off at the orphanage if not for the fact that Rose had unexpectedly decided to accept a pregnancy before she died. Some last remaining human piece of me couldn't bear to get rid of the baby that Rose had wanted. I entered a second marriage so there would be someone to care for the blessed thing in the ways I was incapable of doing. That's so mean. Okay, needless to say, my relationship with my daughter is strained. She recently became a teenager, and in a moment of weakness, I fed from her. I was hungry, and she was the only human around. Would it have been better to go into a hunger-crazed frenzy? I did not choose to turn her. I wouldn't have made that choice to give her the power that could have saved her mother if my daughter had never existed. But it didn't matter. She was turned and now she blames me. My spouse, 70 male, also a vampire, I wonder if it's blood, is currently trying to learn the cure in order to appease the brat. He told him not to bother, but he seems to be on my daughter's side and told me I should have known better. My asshole. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, okay. Person says, you're the asshole. Feeding from humans against their will is one thing, Everyone needs substance to continue living. But to change someone's nature without their consent? Her humanity was a lasting gift from her mother, and you stole that from her. She didn't ask to be here. You two weren't careful enough. That's on you. By the way, there's still a bit of Rose left, your daughter. If you loved Rose as much as you claim, you'd be protecting your daughter and her humanity with everything you have. I'm with your spouse on this. Help him find the cure for her so she can regain the lasting gift her mother gave her. Oh, that's the only reply too? Wow. Okay. Oh. Am I the asshole for making my older rich husband sleep in the guest bedroom with the cats and their litter boxes? So I married an elder sim with a lot of money. Don't judge. I wanted a pool, nice furniture before my young adult years were over, and comfy life for my cats. Anyway, we purchased a house, but I didn't really feel like sharing the main bedroom. So I designed a guest suite for him, except it's also where I keep the cat's litter boxes and other junk. Now, now he keeps waking up miserable, and because the cats are meowing all night, and the uncomfortable moodlet from the smell won't go away. He complains constantly and is grumpy. I agree. I should be grateful. He's still in a room with a bed and walls and even a nightstand, and mostly still married to me. Or I said agree. I argue he should be grateful. Plus, the cats like him more. There's no replies. Oh, there's 31. Wow. Forget it. Oh, okay. My cats, the cats like him more now, so I don't need to worry if they are uncomfortable with him being in their private room. My cats are 6 and 18, well behaved and sweet, but they can be very picky who they let in their life. So obviously I feel very responsible when introducing a new partner they will need to cohabitate with. My some friends think I'm being cold and should give him a proper space in the master bedroom. But he's old and snores, and it makes me resent him. These people are mean. This person says, not the a-hole. He's got a hot young spouse. What else does he need? Wow. Although you could suggest he get into handiness and upgrade his bed and the litter boxes to make the room more comfortable for both of them. And then he can upgrade all your appliances before he passes. Everybody wins. That's a great idea. I had some plans for him tomorrow since there's a lot of things I wanted him to improve in my master suite first. You can only imagine how my bedroom feels empty and depressive, so I thought linen wallpaper would help to make it a bit cozy. After Daddy hangs the wallpaper, yeah, thank you for reminding me about the appliances. I truly wish that he could improve his room too, but it feels like there is never enough time in this world and it's difficult to prioritize everything. I am probably not the best one to answer this because my husband and I don't even live in the same neighborhood, but it sounds like not the asshole to me. They LOL, lucky you. It was I was as well suggesting to live separately, especially when he said he doesn't like my cats. Little did he know he will eventually have to get really close with them. But then I thought, hey, he's not going to be here for much longer. So why not let him make the most of his life and help build the dream house first and then send him to an elder home or something so he can socialize with same age people and stop being inappropriate around his young wife. Wow. Oh my goodness. Why make the cats share their bedrooms so he can sleep there? You're the asshole. Poor kitties. How would you like it if someone set up home in your bathroom? They feel bad for the cats instead of him. Oh my goodness. As for him, can you annex off the kitty room so he can still clean it for you as he'll have to pass through there to get in and out? But the cats get their privacy. Also, as someone else said, set up an easel or something so he'll think you care about his hobbies. When in fact you're just making money for the cat toys. You're so mean. Okay, so it's priority here, guys. This is you love. I love this. Very creative. I mentioned to him today, but I realized he is deaf, so I just have to act and he will figure it out. But you're so mean. Okay, this person says you're the asshole. You should make use of him. Put him in the basement. Oh my goodness. The poster says smart plantain. Says I thought about it too, but litter boxes get cleaned only because he hates the smell in the room. They have electric litter boxes. I use them all the time. In fact, I don't use anything but the ones that have the lasers on them. I don't like having to remember to empty it either. This verse says, but don't let him escape because we still We still needs money. Not the asshole, but saw the title and I had to look at the sub. No, not wrong. Afterwards, I didn't realize they were in the Sims, in the Sims subreddit. Wow. Okay, man, there's been times where I look at the real am I the asshole or am I the asshole subs and at first think they're sim stories from all the dang drama. I take a lot of stuff on those subs as fiction now, even if it is real. Too much drama. Cats hate stinky litter boxes. You need to upgrade to the laser ones. Bingo! That clean themselves so your cats never experience a moment's discomfort. Also, I don't think there's any need to share a bedroom with him. But if there's space to maybe make him his own room, that could work. Then the cats could have even more space. Maybe get one of those really big cat trees. Smart Plantain, the poster, says, I know, but I am still working on teaching him how to clean it properly. And he's acting like he's deaf, so it stinks, and then he complains. And then I say, consequences. Wow. You're the asshole. Why are you putting him in your cat's bedroom? Of course, they're unhappy. He's in their space. For Grim's sake. Why can't he just sleep on the couch? Same. This person says, not the asshole. He's looking, you let him sleep in the house. And they're like, right. Thank you for being on my side. Half asleep scrolling and couldn't make out the sub. This woke me right up, LMAO. You should be grateful he's not placed in the basement with an easel or worse. Hey, somebody already told her to do that. And once again, I see AITA part, but do not register the Sims part until after I read the question. Wow. They thought it was real. If I had noticed it, I would have thought so too, but I was actually flabbergasted they have a Sims one. It's hilarious to me. Okay, so this person says, not the asshole. It just makes sense for an elderly person who snores to share a room with non-humans. Cats can sleep through anything, and if nothing else, they can catch up on sleep during the day. Also, why does he still have a sense of smell if he's so elderly? Smart Plantain says, I don't know. I also was wondering why he still has a sense of smell or smell anything at all, since he is a male. Males are generally more tolerant than women. I mean, I guess that it smells, lol. I more care about the cats because cats hate smelling their stuff and like clean spaces. And it's like I have to constantly remind him to clean every day. It's like he's not even listening to me or he's deaf. It drives me nuts. Did they say in one of the other responses that he's deaf? It's just crazy. Not that I went full force on my damn storylines. Oh, am am I the asshole for not getting the appointment quicker? I, young adult male, am married to my wife, young adult female, and we have an infant daughter, Mimi. Currently, my wife is pregnant and in her second trimester with our second. Good God!
J4M35 Snipes played jump scare for 0 bits.
I didn't notice. Staring at that so hard, trying to read it is sometimes there's words missing out of the sentence, so I have to make it make sense. I'm scared the crap out of me. This is absolutely hilarious. Okay, so I found this subreddit that's Am I the Asshole? But it's Sims. These people go full nuts on their storylines and how they treat their Sims. And I thought I was a little crazy with my stories, but this is insane. So the person that wrote the one that I was reading before, she married a rich elderly sim, and they had like like really nice house. She Yes, according to what she wrote, she built the house and she made the cats like a guest suite on the side, and she put the old man in the room with the cats to make him change his litter box. Because he snores, they don't snore. She made that up. And someone put, "You're not the asshole. He's lucky you don't put him in the basement with an easel to make art and make money off of it." Wait, I was looking for you all day yesterday. I was waiting for you to stream. Did I miss it? I would like every hour or so I would look and see if you were streaming. How did your birthday go? Oh, you're not home. Okay. Next week that you're gonna stream your birthday. No, I remember saying your birthday was the day before or 2 days before Sandy's. It's next week. Next week is uh it's in October. Okay. Well, at least I didn't miss it. That's good. This is next Friday. Oh. Mm. There's an ad break. You just let me know when it's because I want to ask you a question. And you said it was next week. Okay, James, is your birthday on October 3rd? It's it's on a Friday, right? Because I remember that conversation. So it's on a Friday, the 4th. Okay. My dad's birthday is the 3rd, so I won't forget that. I'm like one of those people that I've got to like connect it to someone, that I got to connect it to something. And my dog's birthday is tomorrow on Sunday. And so I was trying to connect it to like, if it was Friday, I was connecting it to just, like the same couple of days within Sandy's birthday. But if your birthday is next week, it's Saturday. Okay. So it's the day after my dad's birthday. So I'll always be able to remember that. Yeah, my dad's birthday is Friday. See, it'll make things a little better. And my dad passed away when I was a teenager. So I try to keep that. Like, I get really, like, it's like sentimental and down on his birthday. I used to be able to go and do things like I went to the movies or I went to the zoo. I went and did things that he would want to go with me to do if he was around. And then sometimes Karepa is around and he would spend some time with me and we would listen to music and yeah, I would talk about my dad. And so that always made me feel better. That's a good thing, and I have something to look forward to. Do you have any plans? Do you play a certain game? Have you thought about what you're gonna do? Do you have any plans to go out? Okay. Uh, no, a plan up to now, all I planned is spooky drunk night. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a birthday. I don't drink, but if I did, that's what I would be doing. So, uh, I don't go anywhere anymore. I used to go to Six Flags. Well, they started opening it early, almost year round. And, which I don't even know if you know what that is. This is a theme park here. And, so when my birthday was after they opened for this season, then I would celebrate my alive day, the day I came out of the hospital. And that's in August. So I would make a bigger deal out of that day than my birthday. And then after 2020 and I started staying in all the time, I just stream. I have cake and ice cream and drinks. Spooky drunk night sounds like a plan. You make it even spookier by playing a spooky game. You finally scared the crap out of me. All this time you've been wanting to scare me so bad. You finally got me really good. I misspelled that on my let me go change it real quick. It's supposed to be AH. Well, I don't need to put the H. Okay. So it should be updated now. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to reading the story. It says, "Am I the asshole for not getting the appointment quicker?" And it says, "I, young adult male, am married to my wife, young adult female, and we have an infant daughter, Mimi. Currently, my wife is pregnant and in her second trimester with our second child. Yes, I know, two under two, and all of that. Honestly, this is our last child. Simply because we do not have any more rooms. We live in a luxury apartment in San Myshuno. I'm a food critic, and she's an arts critic. So, as you can imagine, after our daughter was born, I abstained for a while, let her heal, and all that. I meant to get an appointment to have a gel injected that would prevent me from being able to impregnate her. It's easy to get rid of. Just get a dissolving agent added in, and it goes away. Plus, saves her the pain of an IUD. Why are they so detailed on that stuff? Or the worry of remembering to take birth control pills. Thing is, I meant to go earlier, but Mimi had a cranky day. Ear infection, poor thing. We got antibiotics for her. Then I had to work, and when I got home, it was too late to go to the specialist to get the procedure done. After a stressful day, the mood kind of hit us both. We woohooed, forgot condoms, and here we are. I did get an appointment for the next day, but well, it was already done. I feel like I failed her. She gave me a beautiful, healthy, brilliant baby, and I couldn't even be responsible enough to make sure she was completely healed before we had a second. Not to mention, now my mom is yelling at her, claiming she's a gold digger who just wants to ensure she can dig into our family's fortune. What fortune? She kind of ruined that with her own infidelity, considering the prenup she signed before marrying my dad. I roll my eyes at her, but I can tell it upsets my wife. She may not like my mom as a person, but she is my mom, and A is my wife. So A tries her best to have a neutral relationship with my mom at least. My mom is absolutely nothing but hostile, especially since Mimi's hair came out copper blonde instead of pale or sandy blonde. Apparently, if my son doesn't come out blonde, it's evidence A is cheating. If A cheated on me, I couldn't be more shocked than if a meteor struck my mom in the middle of the street. Actually, the second event would surprise me less. I'll never forgive myself if something happens to A because she gave birth again too soon. Am I the asshole for not getting to the medical specialist quicker? There's no replies. That's some freaking detail. Am I the asshole for ruining their marriage? I, young adult female, live with my roommate, young adult male, and child, an infant, whom, for simplicity of this post, we'll call Ashton. Ashton was born with a rare condition. They have male and female parts, so until they're old enough to tell me who they are, I'm raising my child gender neutral. Ashton's father, Kay, argued that it's against our culture and we should choose Ashton's gender for them. I disagreed, saying that if we guessed wrong, we not only mutilated our child, but guaranteed their infertility. I wouldn't make a decision on that scale for my child. They should choose if they want to be a parent one day, and if I can preserve their ability to have the choice of biological children. I absolutely will. My roommate backed me up, saying that while sometimes a chromosome test can determine the baby's biological sex and which gender the child would will lean towards, it's not a guarantee. Nothing is 100% aside from my child telling me as a teenager who they are and what they want. So I'll gladly wait. Kay wanted to do something now, and it was further motivated by his father's political career and his mother's publicity as an athlete. So I fudged the birth certificate, naming my roommate as the father. Kay and I are both Asian, although different kinds of Asian. I'm Korean, white, and black. Kay is Japanese. So it's not a far stretch for me to say that Ashton's Asian features come from me and that my roommate is his father. They threatened to sue me. I threatened back that if they did, I'd expose all of their secrets, including an affair of his mother's, and that Kay may not even be the politician's son. That made them back off for a while, but now Kay's sister, In, is calling me saying that I'm a llama for ruining her parents' marriage, reputation, and giving both her and Kay a bad name to be associated with. Funny enough, my roommate Zon recently found out that he's not biologically related to the man who raised him, but the result of an affair between Zon's mother and her soon-to-be ex-husband's coworker. That gives Zon's stepfather a sizable divorce settlement, which he's sharing with us so we can get a house and Ashton can have their own room. We currently live in a two-bedroom trailer, so I share my room with Ashton. Honestly, things worked out for the right people. So I told In that I only set the pieces in motion so that the right people can cash out big and the wrong people get what they deserve. She called me the llama queen for saying that. I don't think I am. I think I'm just protecting my child from some selfish egomaniacs. Am I the llama for revealing a secret about Kay's mom to his dad? Not the llama. You, you're protecting your child, and hopefully, after 3 to 4 birthdays, Ashton will repay you by continuing your legacy with grandbabies. Meanwhile, Kay's trying to prevent this. Besides, it's not like you're locking Kay and his family in a fenced-off pool. OOC, I don't know what that means. And even if Ashton chooses to not have bio kids, your sim is doing the right thing, but gotta be over the top on the subreddit. Thank you. That's what my roommate told me as well. Says, my God, I never look at subnames when I'm skimming through Reddit, and only when I reached your comment and saw you mention Sim that I realized which sub I was on. Wow. I'm so glad that I realized about this before I actually came across it and read one of the stories. Is this funny? Mm, not safe for words content. Am I the asshole for being disgusted and thought about my affair partner as my husband died? Am I the asshole for reminding my mother-in-law not all women are like her? No. I went to my ex-husband's mistress's funeral in the shortest shorts I own. Pretty much. See, this person put Emma the L, which is llama, which is what they're supposed to put. Am I the llama for telling them to divorce their wives? Okay, let's read this one. I, adult female, am recently divorced with 3 sons. J, young adult male. M, newly young adult male. And T, newly aged into child male. So, yeah, 3 sons. Okay. J was the result of an affair during the early days of my marriage, which I regret and hid for 24 years until my now ex-husband had my eldest son pay for a paternity test. Obviously, it came back negative. Jay is actually my truest love, B's son. So my ex-husband invoked our prenup, took 75% of my wealth. I was born into generational wealth, leaving me with just enough to get a decent looking, modest house in San Sequoia and have enough left over for IVF treatment. I'm currently pregnant with B's daughter. He also stole custody of my 2 youngest boys from me. I had to punish and disown my eldest after I caught him in a passionate kiss with a girl I knew was not a real girl, as in not born female. This little girl is my hope to regrow my dynasty and reinstate my name as a household name, which is our birthright. Then what do I find out he stole custody of my then teenage and toddler sons? One, he and my youngest boy are currently living in a 2-bedroom shack. He helped my middle son attend culinary school and get his apartment. He also helped my eldest buy a house with some girl he's shacking up with who has an infant of her own. Oh, and he refuses to tell me if the child is a boy or a girl. Keeps saying it's none of my business, and wait until the child is old enough to tell me themselves. What? That's absurd. It's either a boy or a girl. That's it. No third option. I ought to find a way to sneak a diaper change on that brat and see for myself. Worse yet, J and M have gotten married. J to the broke, multicultural mongrel mechanical engineer, single mom, and M to a watcher to a watcher save me arts critic with wavy red hair and blue eyes. They are very prejudiced, aren't they? Okay. They made their sons prejudiced. Okay. I told them both that their wives do not match our aesthetic Caucasian, pale, sandy blonde hair, nor do they lead lives that adhere to our values. CEO, doctor, lawyer, scientist, and they are to divorce these women immediately. They laughed at me, calling me a pathetic llama. How can I be the llama when I just want them to respect our traditions? As far as I'm concerned, my ex is the llama. 24 some years and he throws our marriage away. Why couldn't he just why couldn't he have just sucked it up until the Grim Reaper took him? He caused all of this and left me powerless to do anything to strike fear and obedience into my boys. But what do you think? Am I the llama? Oh boy. How many reactions did they have? Just 3? Oh wow. It says not the llama. Your story had me LOLing. Traditions have to be kept. This one says, you're the llama. It says, not the asshole. If your kids end up having children without light colored eyes or hair, also known as shenanigans, aka peasants, the least you can do is run genetic testing and adjusting so your grandkids keep the legacy aesthetic and keep it classy. Wow. Wow. Am I the asshole for not wanting to kiss my girlfriend in front of her dead mom's grave? I, young adult male, recently moved to from Brightchester to Ravenwood with my girlfriend Opal, young adult female, and our old cat. Opal's mom recently died, leaving her a small inheritance, and we're two broke recent college graduates. So we moved into Opal's childhood home. When we got to town, we visited her mom's grave. After seeing her mom's grave, or the Opal tried to kiss me, but I pushed her away. I still didn't understand why I did, so maybe it was the creepy environment or the fact that I recently found out she's going to be a Grim Reaper as part of the inheritance clause. Her com- her coming from a long line of Grim Reapers, like her mom. But Opal looked hurt. Am I the asshole? There's 5. Okay. You're the asshole. You're not embracing her culture. I wouldn't blame Opal if she ran to Grim's embrace because you're not loving her enough. So you better get your act together if you don't want to be a stepdad to a Grim-born kid. Uh, update: Opal's mom, Raven, killed me. Is that really him? Dog days. Dog days are over. Look, it says update. Opal's mom's Raven killed me. Maybe you'll let her kiss you in front of your own grave. It's never too late for a second chance. You're the asshole. Didn't you wonder where all that money came from? Get a grip or get out. You're the asshole. Ravenwood has the tradition of first kiss in graves and woohoo in coffins. It is like going to Ciudad Enamorada and start screaming the ill word with the hard X, a total disrespect. That was funny. The mom's raven killed him. I was reading this one the other day. I, 7 male, just got a little sister named Rosie. She's really small and kind of lame. She can't talk and look at anybody. My mom and dad are acting like she's this really cool person, but she just drinks milk, poops in a diaper, and sleeps. Boring. Not to mention, mom and dad have been really tired since she came back with them from the hospital. I wanted a puppy, but I got Rosie instead. I keep asking if we can return Rosie and trade her for a puppy. They just laugh like I'm joking. I'm not. I'm going to ask Father Winter to trade Rosie for a puppy this Winterfest. I told a friend from school about it, and they called me a llama over it. Am I a llama? Caillou? Is that you by any chance? He said, no, I'm not. I don't know a Caillou. I'm Joey. Isn't there an episode where this exact thing happens? Man, I miss the little French Canadian. I don't, what does that mean? Not the llama hole? You're not thinking far enough ahead, kid. Rosie'll be doing more stuff soon enough, and then she can help you beg mom and dad for a puppy. Maybe. Dad says once Rosie's walking and talking, we can get a puppy. Not the llama. Did they even consult you before having a baby instead of getting a puppy? No, they didn't. They just sent me over to Uncle Johnny and Uncle Sydney overnight. Then Dad came and got me from school saying, you have a baby sister, Rosalie. We call her Rosie. Sounds like a good trade. She's still small enough to work as one of Father Winter's elves. Not the llama. You need a nanny who can take care of Rosie so your parents are less tired. Okay. Am I the asshole for locking the nanny out of the house? I don't know what that means. Have had a nanny for my 4 children for many years. I'm a 5-star celebrity actor, and sometimes children get in the way of my career. So I had a nanny. Recently, I've been encountering an issue with our nanny. We'll call her Hannah, where when I ask her to leave, she does, but then 5 minutes later, she arrives at my door again. She only ever charges me money when I dismiss her, and only around $160, which I could easily afford, but I'm getting tired of dismissing her over and over. I even had our new ghost roommate fire her, and she still came back. I don't even need a nanny anymore, as my youngest is now a child and is going to school. I said enough was enough and changed the locks. But I feel kind of bad leaving her out on the front porch. Am I the asshole for locking the nanny out of the house? P.S. Before you go suggesting I lock her in our pool, I have considered that option, but I really don't want to have another ghost around here. Not the asshole. Sounds like someone couldn't take the hint. I mean, I know you don't want another ghost, but at least you wouldn't have to pay her anymore. That's not the asshole. Complain and let her be fired. Testing cheats true. Add to family, then quit family. It will make an NBC loser job. But if you want to be more sure, you can make her get another job. There is a mod where you can have them live in your household. So, like, um, I take it they don't have the pack where you have butlers because you can have them take care of your kid for you. But there's a mod that you can use if you have base game, and you can have live-in nannies and live-in gardeners and stuff, like a live-in maid. Am I the asshole for making the world more eco-friendly by removing children? What the hell? Is it more eco-friendly by getting rid of kids? Adults are the ones that make a mess. Okay, I, young adult female, am on a crusade to make the world more eco-friendly. I figured I should focus on the cause of industrialization, not the symptoms. So I looked for the group of people who are the least eco-friendly, and I came to the conclusion that children between the ages of 5 and 12 are these people. They make messes everywhere. They never pick up after themselves. They are always getting in the way of us hardworking adults who are trying to make the world more eco-friendly. Seriously? So I decided the first step to a more eco-friendly world would be to eliminate these children. What the hell goes on in their sim save? Because mine doesn't happen like that. It's the adults that rummage through the trash and leave trash on the ground, and then plates around, and there's cars that drive down the street. That's not kids. I hate kids. But they didn't choose to be born, so I decided to have them die. Well, let's do something fun. Wow, kids like pools, right? No. So I built a facility for children and had them go swimming until they drowned. No. But now some of their parents are complaining. They're saying that I murdered their children because you fucking did. When I was supposed to raise and protect them. And what's a few children lost when nature is on the line? Wow. So, anyways, am I the asshole for drowning children in the name of eco-friendliness? Oh my gosh. They shouldn't be asking. It's, this person replied, they put not the asshole. Seriously, any child that paints the floor deserves the the butlers and adults who broke dollhouses. Or they're saying so do butlers and adults that break dollhouses. Not the asshole. Sounds like you were just being practical. You may want to repeat this in the future though, because some selfish people will likely keep having more kids. Damn. Fair point. Maybe I should go after the parents next. Wow. Someone has to be sacrificed. I mean, make the sacrifices. It's for the planet. Wow. Not the asshole, but the adults could have more children. Those people are the real assholes. You're the asshole now. The parents are mourning and can't focus on the environment. You should have you had you should have just disappeared them so the parents wouldn't mind. They painted the floor. It is like adults breaking doll houses or that one family member that pranks the house toilet. They deserve to die. Oh, wow. I'm so glad this is just The Sims. I don't know if I want to read the actual subreddit for the Am I the Asshole? Not the asshole. You let them have fun, which shows that you have a kind heart. Not the asshole. Why not just send them to Sitsum until they're contributing members of society? Seems a bit harsh to drown them all, but then they would probably pollute Sitsum. Sims need to understand that you are the watcher, and the watcher knows best. If they ever question the watcher, then you can also put them in that pool and let them see the error of their ways. Hey, this is the kids are the anti-ecos when it's the adults who run all the stuff that can bring down the footprint in the first place. That should be a question mark. The kids are the anti-ecos. It's the adults who run all the stuff that can bring down the footprint in the first place. Not the asshole. Wrong generation to be eliminating. Train the children ASAP. Pro eco friendly. Wow. They made Bella get divorced? Oh! Am I the asshole for doing romantic things in front of newly divorced Bella? I, 27 female, live with my best friends Felicity, Sarah, and Helga. Bella Goff was recently divorced by her husband, Mortimer, after I convinced him to leave her. Mortimer and I then quickly fell in love. However, poor Bella is now on a very sad moodlet due to being divorced. To remind her that true love exists, the girls and I invited Bella over to our house. We were all in the living room, where I passionately made out with Mortimer. Felicity and Helga, who are woohoo partners, talked in detail about their woohoo life. and Farah gifted her a painting she made that depicted a man and a woman kissing on a sunset beach. However, Bella continued to be sad. Are we the assholes? What could we have done wrong? Wow. Mean Girls Club. I love it. You're the llama. Look, I don't go to Bob Pancake's house daily for a reason. If you really, really wanted to help Bella, you should do ask the Watcher to give her the cuck- cuckling fetish, not putting salt on the wound. Obviously, you might have been less so if it was any other man, but no, you showed the one person to prove that true love, no longer exists. I was waiting for you to comment, lol. Not the llama. She should have realized what she would have to be exposed to if her husband left her for you. She is the asshole for going over there and expecting you to pretend you aren't in love with her ex. Clearly, she needs to move on and stop clinging to Mortimer and you. And they invited her. If she had been a walk by, maybe. What is that? Will I be the asshole? Is that what that means? For breaking my family's traditions. Was born into a rather aristocratic family with some deeply held beliefs about naming children and clothing. We're odd, we're old money, generational wealth, and for generations we've only ever dressed in darker tones. There's also some rules as far as naming children go, which is that a son's name must end with a particular sound, and a similar rule applies to names given to a daughter. After I moved out of my family's home, I began dabbling in colors a bit. I normally stuck to black while growing up. It was just easier. But after I moved out, my boyfriend encouraged me to add in some colors. So I began adding blues, reds, purples, and recently starting oranges and browns. Honestly, the brown isn't so bold, but the orange, oh good golly. I love how orange looks on me, but it's bright. Too bright for my family to like it. Recently, my boyfriend proposed. We were a little less careful than we should have been while woohooing after I accepted. So now I'm currently engaged, pregnant with twin boys, and while I'm of Greek heritage, my fiance is of Italian heritage. My family's naming rule is boys' names end with an R sound, and girls end with an A sound. As you can imagine, we're pretty limited for boy names. So far, the only name we can come up with that matches his surname is Salvatore. It would be easier if we could forgo my family's naming rules, but I already feel bad about becoming more of a colorful peon in recent times than my family permits. Some other Italian names we like are Dante, Luca, Elio, and Nico, which would actually honor his father Niccolo. Nico, Niccolo? Girls, we settled on Elena or Rosa, which fit my family's tradition perfectly while honoring my fiance's heritage. But no, these babies had to be boys and really throw us for a loop. While throw us for a loop name wise. Would I be the llama if I ignore another of my family's traditions? Edit. I just realized how dumb this is. Because if my parents or brothers see this, they're gonna know who I am. Edit 2. Well, for better or worse, we broke tradition. Our sons will have names ending in O. We'll stick with the A ending for girl names, though, as it works for both Italian and Greek names. So, Rosie. So our sons are Elio and Nico. And the other thing we're doing is keeping our names short. So 4 letters or 5 at the most. We've discussed maybe trying for one more after the boys are school aged. Here's hoping we don't get another set of twins. I do still love Dante for a boy's name. That's actually Nico's middle name. But as my husband, yes, we married before the twins were born, pointed out, his name starts with D, and he goes by a shortened version of his full name. Dante could get shortened to Danny by classmates, which could lead to confusion at home when the boys are older. You're the asshole. You have married an Italian. You seek to destroy your family's tradition. You have taken so much from them already. All of that I could forgive, admire even. But OP Orange? I have a darker skin tone, so yes, orange is stunning on me. Snaps twice in agreement. Have you considered naming them and Salvatore 1 and Salvatore 2, then having them fight it out as teams to figure out who is the true Salvatore? We don't even like Salvatore very much. It's just the only one that fits, truthfully. If we don't stick to the tradition, we'd like we'd likely name them Dante and Nico, which are our favorites. What about Donter and Nicor? I see what you did there, but adding the R causes the names to lose their allure. Not the asshole. These traditions have been here forever, and not once did they take into account the stress it can add for future generations. Nico and Dante for the win. And I know you look amazing in orange. Not the asshole. Traditions are meant to be broken. That's funny. Okay, I wanna play my game now. Yeah, talking about all of this has made me want to play my game. Am I the asshole for killing my tenants over stolen soybeans? Wow. Am I the asshole for fighting my husband after he looked at my best friend? Wow. Okay. Am I the asshole for moving my cousin into my home? Will I be the asshole for divorcing him? 23 female. I'm currently pregnant with our second child. I married the only guy I ever dated as soon as I graduated from high school. And I began my career path to a classical musician. I play piano and violin. Thing is, while I still find my husband D extremely attractive, my romantic satisfaction has gone downhill significantly. I love our son in named after D's father, but I can't shake this fear of being alone. I got a fear be gone potion, and within a few sim hours, my fear had returned. I don't know. It doesn't even make sense. We live near the military base in Strangerville. I have a steady job I love. This we love. He gives me roses every day. He's physically affectionate with me. And flirtatious, but I am unsatisfied and I just don't understand it. I'm currently in my second trimester with our baby girl. Will I be the asshole if I divorce him and give him sole custody so I can start over with someone else? To clarify, there isn't someone else, but I'm young, so I'm sure I'd meet someone, right? You're the llama here. You could always ask him to try different things. Talk to your husband. I did, and as soon as our daughter was born, we went on a date, just us. Got the babysitter for the kids. Things are better right now, but I don't know if we'll survive another stretch like that. Not the llama. Branch out into something new. Your husband and family are just keeping you from having fun. Dump his ass and move to the next. Not the asshole. Cut all communication and start fresh. Am I the asshole for stealing my mom's boyfriend? Okay. Am I the asshole for having another child? I don't know. Have through two sons with my wife. Oh heck. I'm supposed to be honest, right? We have three. J, M, and G. A bit after G was born, my wife N began to hemorrhage. I stayed with G while she went into the hospital and they were able to stop the bleeding surgically. While N was in the hospital, I invited a young woman, a young woman over. Let's call her Sina Deliente. Sneaky. It was Dina. We had some fun, and Sina ended up having my only daughter. I've always wanted a daddy's little girl, but my wife is evil. I don't feel right leaving G alone with N. but I want to be in my daughter's life, and I know that I won't be able to do that while I'm married to N. N has cut us off from M and J. J because she doesn't like his career choices, and M because she disapproves of his girlfriend. I have a mind to take G, grab whatever I can carry, and divorce her. Maybe start a new life with Cena and my daughter. Am I the asshole for having an affair, baby? Not the llama. Your wife will be fine. Move out and you can reconnect with your sons. M is just as evil as N. No, original poster needs to go make amends to J. What was done with J was just plain wrong. You should have cheated on her and honestly should have divorced. You shouldn't have cheated on her and you should have divorced a while ago by the sounds of it. But at least now you see the light. I'm picturing very happy holidays with your three sons and daughter now. See if you can snatch the house too. Even if you don't stay there, you can sell it and use it to buy something new for your new life. So you're the llama, but let's make the best of it. Just take away the ladder while N is in the pool. And she can't get out by climbing out of the side. She doesn't deserve to be your wife. It doesn't work that way anymore. They can sit on the side of the pool. Not the llama, as long as you reconnect with M and J, since it seems that only N hates your sons. Your timing is off. How could you be with G while your wife was hemorrhaging? And then you invited Cena over and G resulted? Sounds off. You should get away from each other toxic. Now G is the little boy, the youngest boy. See, no, G is my youngest son with N. She began hemorrhaging about a day after he was born at home. While she was in the hospital recovering from surgery, she needed she needed to stop the hemorrhaging. I invited Sina over and another child resulted. Are you prepared to take the last name Deliente? We all know who took N's name. Anyway, the problem with cheating on N is that she's a crime boss. If you were, I don't know. They think it's Nancy. Maybe a diamond agent or something you can handle her, but you're not. Detective G just isn't good enough. You're the llama mainly because N will probably set you up next to all of Spectre's exes, which will leave all of your kids without a father. I really need to read the thread now. This is funny. Yeah, this is funny. Okay, I've been streaming for an hour and a half. I'm gonna play Sims. I was bored. I'm waiting for a message. If I don't play it, it's because I have something else planned. But I'm waiting for the person to verify what we're doing. So I am going to go and I'm gonna look at my messages. If I don't get the message I'm waiting for, I am going to come right back and play my skills family. See you in a few.